Bemidji really is the hub for so many things related to healthcare. Whether it's the heart clinic or the cancer center or ortho and sports medicine, we're lucky to have everything that we have. I remember when we had to send patients to Roger Maris in Fargo or to Mayo in Rochester down to the cities, and it was so cumbersome for those patients because you have to travel away from home and you have to think about lodging and meals, and you don't get to stay in the comfort of your home and be with your family. Every time I go into the cancer center, I like to look at the photo collage that they have of the Lueken family and their donation. You know, obviously that building and that facility would not be there without them. And I know that Joe struggled with his own cancer journey as well, and so he left a legacy. We are so lucky to have the cancer center here in Bemidji. I was born and raised in Bemidji, Minnesota. I'm actually a Sanford Health employee. Sometimes when you work in healthcare, you think that you're invincible, or you think that your family is invincible, or that it's not going to happen to you, but it does. 5 years or so ago, my mom was diagnosed with cancer.
I was diagnosed back in 2018 with breast cancer and lung cancer. I was fortunate enough to just have surgery. I didn't have to go through the chemo and the radiation.
And then fast forwarding 5 years, my dad was also diagnosed with cancer.
My husband's name was Dan.
Yes, it is.
He was the most compassionate person that I knew.
This is a walleye hotspot, Mom.
We had everything in common. We did everything together.
Unfortunately, we found that he had this lung cancer that had spread to his brain, soft tissue. The oncologist here in Bemidji said that it was one of the most aggressive lung cancers that he had seen in his career. Luckily, we did not have to travel for anything. We didn't have to go to Fargo or Rochester. We were lucky enough to stay here in Bemidji.
When Dan was diagnosed and had to have his radiation and chemotherapy, that's when, we got to meet the family back there. By family, I mean all the nurses and the CNAs and everyone.
The first thing that you notice when you go into the cancer center is the staff are so wonderful. From the person that greets you at the door to the receptionist, everybody is so kind and caring and gracious. We had top-notch care from the top to the bottom.
It was just a long, arduous journey that we went through. Thinking we were going to beat it, then finding out we weren't going to beat it.
And I remember that day going into the clinic, and I think he knew, and my mom and I knew as well, that he had fought so hard for 6-7 months, and he was just tired and he was ready to be done.
Those kinds of things that you don't have anymore. Certain things, like every night when you go to bed and you say, I love you, and then, you forever and ever? Yep, forever and ever. That was it. That was the last thing every night before we went to bed. So those kinds of things.
Dad passed away in November. In October, the month prior, she had had a surveillance scan that showed something kind of off. But at the time, we were really in the midst of my dad struggling, and we thought, you know what, we can only fight one fire at a time. We'll come back to this.
I wanted to take care of him. So then after he passed away, and then I went back in, and that's when we found out it was breast cancer. My first thought was, you can't make this up. I've been through it 5 years ago. My husband's just been through it, and now I've got it again.
We were surprised, but we felt confident that we have a team locally that we can rely on, and we were ready to fight again. Sanford has done so much in our community and brought so many different services in, and we are so, so lucky for that. When you've had excellent care somewhere, it's nice to give back.
That's why when Dan passed away, we asked for donations to the cancer center. I see how important it is to the community and to the surrounding communities. You may not have cancer, but you will know somebody in your lifetime that has it, and they will tell you how important the cancer center is here in Bemidji. They're caring, compassionate people, and it takes a special kind of person to work there. I honestly and truly believe that. And we've got the best team. We have the best team ever. Emotionally, physically, they help with everything.
My favorite thing about my mom is that she never gives up. When she was first diagnosed, with her recovery, taking care of my dad, and now kind of being back to square one, being diagnosed again, she's not gonna let anything get her down. she's going to tackle it head on, and she's not scared to fight. I just don't know how I would be able to grieve the loss of my dad and still be able to get on and move forward in my life without her. I am a firm believer that the universe does things and teaches us things for a reason, and I'm glad that we can use my dad's story for something good.
Everybody's cancer journey is different. Even though I have stage 4 breast cancer, I feel healthy. I feel good. I'm thankful for just being alive. You know, I'm here. I'm alive. I'm good.